This video, I want to talk to you about the relationship between composition and techniques, guitar techniques and guitar composition. So I want to show you the two directions each one contributes to the other. I think the first one is maybe more obvious. If you want to compose music on the guitar, you want to create guitar instrumentals, you need some kind of technique. And usually technique, it's both hands, but in this video I'll talk about the picking hand, because what I played before is taken from classical or flamenco music, the idea of playing tremolo picking, not with the pick, but with the fingers. So that's a technique that enables you to create music based on that technique. I want to share the evolution of how it came about. This idea of tremolo picking, basically meaning you playing the same note again and again, pretty rapidly, pretty fast. So I believe it began with one note, right? If you have this repeated high E string, let's say, or let's say B string actually, and you have this very, very famous Asturias piece where you repeat the B string open again and again, or it could be the same technique with the high E string, it doesn't really matter. But the idea of kind of interchanging between two different layers of your music. So you have a changing notes on one string, let's say, or other strings, and every other note is an open string. Right? It's kind of cool, right? But it's kind of back and forth and maybe not interesting enough. I think it is, but I think the evolution would be to actually play two notes. So you have, let's call them fretted notes. I'm playing on a G string, and then two notes I'm playing with the middle and the index, and then you create this kind of a series of three notes: 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that specific technique gives you this kind of, again, feeling of threes, which will make you play music, great music, that is based on that repeated pattern. Sounds different than I'm just going to play the same thing with one note. Obviously, it adds a little bit more movement and energy. So from one note to two notes and three notes, this is the classical kind of standard. There's this famous piece and other pieces that use the same. The technique is ring, middle, index. So thumb, ring, middle, index. So creating in fours. So that technique allows you to play something in four. And let's talk about where the melody is, because actually when you have more time, you spend more time, and usually it's on the high string. So then you have more time to play the melody on that high string, or think about different layers. So the higher layer, higher voice. Right, so kind of staying on the same note, but moved in between notes on the high string. Right, something like this. And then you can have movements in both directions. That, again, this technique allows you to be even more complex, let's say. I'm just kind of randomly playing, improvising. So that's in four, and the evolution. In flamenco music, it's common to do it in four notes. And what I mean is, see, you play, let's say starting with a thumb, and then you play with the index, and then ring, middle, index. So basically you're playing four notes. it sounds more Spanish to you, because well, that's what they use in flamenco. And that's the evolution, right? It's from 1, or maybe from nothing, to 1 to 2, 3, and 4. And I thought, what about the next level? 5 notes. So we have 5 notes of the melody. And the way I've done it is playing with the thumb, then middle, index, ring, middle, index. And that gives you, again, in terms of timing, it's more like 6/8 in a way, because well, you're dividing a beat into 6, right? Especially if I'm playing 2 different notes, like on the 1 string. I'm thinking about the low voice, like 1 note and another note. Right, this is the kind of feeling of a 6/8 time signature. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it sounds, because it's 6/8, to me, 6/8 is like a ballad, something that is more kind of emotional and romantic even, and yeah, brings something else to the table. And we can move up and have 6 notes and 7 notes, and again, this kind of tremolo picking technique. So the technique, again, allows you, because you've been practicing it, it allows you to compose more complex music, more interesting music. So when you think about composition, it's basically endless. And if you're starting with a technique, and this is one, I think, important point, you have something to start with. Because some kind of issue I know with guitarists is that there's a feeling of overwhelm. This is the guitar, what can I do now? How to create, where to start. And a starting point can be anything. One of them is a technique. So a technique could be, for example, tremolo picking. You practice it and then you come up with something. Which brings me to the next point of other way around. Composition allows you to become a better guitarist, a better technical guitarist. Because if you have to practice this technique that I practice quite a lot, like, I don't know, again and again, it becomes really boring. But what you can do at the same time is have fun, right? This is a boring thing, what you do with the picking hand, but your left hand, your fretting hand, can do so much more. Can make basically a composition out of the improvisation based on a technical exercise. Or to make it simple, when you play a technical exercise and on the right hand and you move your left hand, you're enjoying more your boring exercise. It becomes not boring anymore. Right, you can start with like moving it up and down. Again, that's not very exciting, but then you think, oh, maybe I can add like a chord and shapes. And it becomes, oh. So you're working on your kind of creative side on that area, and you work on the technical side on that area. And those two combine together, and together they create this beautiful possibilities, options that open up for you. That was my main point. This, again, a video that talks about the relationship between composition and technique. And I want to say that I have a new group on Skool with a K, where it begins, actually, there's a challenge that begins with the technique. So if you're not there yet, check it out. There's a link in the description, should be. If not, I'll add. And you can have a free trial. You can check it, see if you like it. It's very active. People are actually uploading stuff. It's very inspiring. I love it. And my passion, my goal, my purpose in life is to help people create music. And technique is just one of them. There are many ways. And once you start something, I know there are more problems in how you get from the starting point to the end, because that's the goal. And I have a system. I call it seeds. Basically, you have 5 stages, and every stage you build it step by step. And there are many ways to do so. And I started a few weeks ago, and people already create beautiful music. You can check it out. And yeah, if you feel like this is something you want to explore, there's a link, go for it. I'll end with a bit of playing. See you in the next video.